And welcome everyone to Learn a Trade. Thanks for joining the channel. This is Kevin with LAT Commercial Equipment Repair, and I'm running some calls today, so I just figured I'd go live and take you all along. I just finished up a call at a movie theater, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the issue that I ran into. Give me a moment. Let me just get back on the road here. Yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the issues I ran into, um, or that was going on at this movie theater. We, I got the call this morning around 10 o'clock or so, and the call was saying that they had a they had an issue with the carbonator motor that was leaking CO2. So usually that's a call that you want to try to get right out on, just to prevent any other things from happening with CO2 leak. So I got out to the call probably around 11 or so, and I noticed that when I got to the back room, the uh, the leak wasn't actually coming from the carbonator or anything. It wasn't even CO2 that was leaking out. It was compressed air. Apparently, when I got into the back room, there was a compressed air tank that used to be connected into the system. And when I got into the back room, I noticed that that compressed air tank had been, the pump motor had been plugged in. Now, just to help you understand a little bit, a lot of these movie theaters sometimes, to save on the consumption of CO2, they'll use a compressed air pump, which has a compressed air motor assembly mounted on the wall, and then it'll have a canister, air compressed air canister underneath the pump and the motor, and then there's quarter-inch tubing that's running from that c- cylinder, that air cylinder, into the motor, the pump motor, which is supposed to pump that compressed air through the lines to the pumps or to the carbonator. And with this situation, this system, this particular movie theater, we had removed that compressed air a while ago and disconnected the motor from the wall so that the motor wouldn't keep pumping. Um, so that ended up being disconnected, and only because Coca-Cola put in freestyle soda machines in there. So they they disconnected that line that was coming from the compressed air, and then they plumbed it in direct to the CO2 system with a bypass valve, so that if they ran out of CO2, they could then switch it over to the compressed air, and then they would only get compressed air pushing through until they were able to get the CO2 delivered to the site. So that's usually how that works. But what happened today, it was just a fluke that another contractor must have been on the site during the week, or maybe yesterday or something, and they plugged in that compressed air pump. Now that pump is going to keep pumping as long as it has, as long as that tank It's a calling. Okay, so when that air is going in, that tank has a capacity of 130 to 140 psi. So once that pressure reaches that point, there's a vent valve on the top of those compressed air cylinders. And those compressed air cylinders that's gonna vent out that air to maintain that level of pressure, 135 to 140. So basically, that pump was just continuing to pump and continuing to send, trying to send air, but it had nowhere to send it because it's not connected to anything. So this is why the tank was just venting out. So that's something that is good to know, about if you ever run into it. You may see some systems where in the back room they'll have a combination of the compressed air and CO2, and then they'll have a bypass valve right on there on the wall, mounted on the wall next to it, that could switch over from compressed air to CO2. So when you see that, just be sure to check your lines, because if you don't have a line connected, an outlet line connected for that air to go to the pumps or go to the carbonators, you're going to end up getting an air leak from that tank. So that's just something that I wanted to share to let you know. Like you do have some systems set up in these back rooms that will have a dual air system. They'll have a compressed air, and then they'll also have CO2. Now, the CO2 is their primary source to providing CO2 to the soda machines, CO2 to the Slurpee machines also. So in this case, this compressed air system was not hooked up to any outlet lines or anything. They were totally disconnected. And the motor shouldn't have been plugged in. But when that motor is plugged in, it's going to keep running on you. And it's good that the manager did call up to have me come out there to check it out, because that motor would have kept running all day and all night. And eventually that motor would have burned out, because when I got there, the motor was hot. And that that would have caused some further damage to the motor, or to something else. It wouldn't have caused any problems with the equipment because it's not connected to any of the equipment, but it would have caused damage to the motor. Uh, and in this case, what I recommend is for them to have me come back out in the future. I could come back out there and disassemble that compressed air motor and the cylinder, and then just remove it from the site, um, just to avoid any future incidents like this, where somebody might be working in there and they're not familiar with the way the system works, and then they could be thinking that, oh, I need to plug in the compressed air, and they're not noticing that the compressed air is not being used at all. So that's just a little something to convey to you, to let you know. I know I've been out of the net for for about a week or so, maybe a little over a week, only because I've been battling with COVID for a little bit. But I am recovered, and you know got my negative test done, so that was all good. So now I'm just in recovery mode, but I am gonna start doing some more lives and stuff like that. Um, I like to thank all of the supporters out there that did contact me and sent out emails and stuff like that. I appreciate you for doing that, and all of the all of the viewers, all of the members of the channel, members of the website. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support, and I hope that this year we're going to be able to give you more and more great content that's going to help you in this industry. Um, as we've been telling you, when I say we, I'm talking about myself, Mike Reed, Mike Sneed, TMM, a bunch of other professionals out there that are in the industry currently. And, I just want to stress to you, like, if you're planning on getting into this industry, whether you're working for someone else, working with another company, or you're planning on starting your own business, this is the time to get it done. This is the time to get it started if you haven't started already. And, get yourself in the game. And, you have a lot of resources on this platform. Um, I just mentioned, Mike Reed's channel, New to Commercial, TMM, Mike Sneed, um, a lot of other great professionals in the industry that have tons of information that they're providing, and this channel as well, Learn and Trade. Our website has great resources on there for you, links for you to go to, find service partners, companies that you can partner with. There's there's a large demand out there right now for service providers. So take advantage of this opportunity, and make sure you check out the videos, check out the different channels, get as much information on training. A thing that myself and Mike Reed stress a lot is, if you're new to the commercial industry, if you're in residential and you're planning to go into commercial, or you're planning to add on commercial side to your business, by all means, get the training. The best place to start is in ice makers, service and ice makers, or performing maintenance PMs on ice makers, and getting started that way. That's a foot in the door, and it's there's a demand for it because these ice makers need to be serviced. They need to have the filters changed. They need to have cleanings done, and if they don't, then they're going to need repairs. So um, that is the best place to start. I always say, if you want to get started into the commercial side, start in start in on the ice makers. Um, Start in on the coffee brewers. Coffee brewers also need a lot of attention when it comes to water quality and calibrations, stuff like that. So definitely take advantage of this information that's being given on this platform, and it'll be the best thing for you. And if you ever have any questions, you can always reach out to me on email at learnandtrade1 at gmail.com. That's learnandtrade1, the number one, at gmail.com. You can reach out to me there with your questions, and I'll get back to you. Maybe I'll even do a question and answer segment uh, live or something like that, and uh, take some questions and see if I can get you some answers and stuff. So, I always am willing to, open up these doors of opportunity for you, because there's plenty of work out there, people. There's plenty of work out there. There's a large demand for quality service technicians, quality service providers. There's service providers that are in need of service technicians that can pick up calls for them in your particular area. So, go on the website, go on learn a trade dot online website. Go on my website, go over to business opportunities, the link for the business opportunities, and you'll see I have a number of companies up there that are willing to take on service providers. You can become a service partner with Bun. You can become a service partner with Vixo. You can become a service partner with America's Same Day Service on the residential side, and there's plenty of other companies up there that I have on the site that you can check out, and I also have videos on YouTube. You can go through and check it out. I have a playlist of business opportunities playlist that you can check out, and that will give you a ton of information on getting started and contacting these companies and stuff like that. And again, look at, if you're already in the industry, look at the manufacturers that you're servicing right now. Look at Cornelius, look at FBD. Go on to their sites and see what they have available. A lot of them are taking on service partners now. So look at check out Mike Reed's channel, New to Commercial, at New to Commercial, and check out his channel. He provides you with a ton of information on the training schedules for all of the manufacturers. Not only ice, but um, refrigeration, um, dishwashers, um, coolers, freezers. He provides you with a ton of that training information, and you'll get a lot of knowledge from that, from his channel, as far as being able to contact these companies to find out um, when their training classes are coming up in your area, the dates, the price on what they cost. And again, when I mentioned about the price for the training on, say, like ice makers, if you're looking to get training, in-person training on ice makers, don't shy away when you see a price up there. Look at it as it's an investment in your career. It's an investment in your business, and it's going to pay off because you're going to go through the training. Um, the manufacturer is going to have you on their list of companies or people that have gone through their training, and that's a step in the right direction. You're in the door, and uh, believe me, after a few times of going to these trainings, attending these trainings, taking the classes, um, taking their certification tests and stuff like that, you're going to start seeing more and more contact from these companies. They'll will reach out to you and see if you're open to servicing calls that are in your area. But other than that, I mean, you really have to go for it this year, and I urge you to really get serious about it, and don't just, let time pass and then hope that, something comes your way. It's not just going to drop in your lap. It's going to come through you putting the work in, and you can all do it. It's not, it's not a hard thing to achieve, to getting your business started, and then growing your business from there. So, I just wanted to touch base with everybody live and take this opportunity to say thank you to all the my viewers, to all of the supporters who are members of the channel, who are members of the website and the training portal. I thank you all for your support. I look forward to continuing on to bring you some great content and some helpful resources. So thank you all for watching. That's all I have for now. I'm heading to another call, and then I will see you at the next one. Thank you.